In the bottom left side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg fighting for the Afrika Freaks. He is Armani. Top right side, the red Zerg player fighting for Alpha X. He is Ragnarok. Alright, so after a very long, tough battle versus patience, Ragnarok managed to squeeze on by with that one game in particular, of course, on Golden Pillars in mind, or Pillars of Gold, Golden Pillars. That's a whole different situation. Yeah, he did manage to get himself in a tied up situation. The best of 5 going all the way to game number 5. And Ragnarok managed to get the victory there. Armani, a little bit of a different story. Not as long fought, but definitely well fought and hard fought as well. I almost said hardly fought anything there. to be fair, some of those games, they were a bit of a build order win, of course. And yeah, that was quite unfortunate. But very smart play from Armani, of course, going for those roaches there in the final series. He scouted out quite nicely with that Overlord what Björn was doing and just knew how to punish it, right? Knew how to punish it. Björn not having enough scouting information on those roaches. There's not have enough time anymore to get those bunkers up. And that is that. Björn, I mean, to be fair, the Reaper Assault also, that was quite the weird one. Quite the interesting situation we had over there. Let's see. Both these players just kind of digging themselves in for now. No Zerglings just quite yet. Overlords are in correct positions here. And I would assume third bases are going to be happening momentarily here for both these players. There it is, the third base for Armani and Ragnarok. Not too far apart. Shouldn't make any difference for the time being. Unless we do get a big swell of links somehow on top of the hatcheries right before they finish. Alright. Both of them making the baneling nest at the forefront. So mostly just safety baneling nests here for both of these players. Now this is the part where we do have to get a couple of lings. I'm a bit surprised actually that neither of these players really were scouting the inside of the bases, right? They were like, alright, well there's a third base. No Zerglings leaving the area, so I'm just going to assume that I'll be okay. Sometimes you do still have like massive amounts of links being built up inside of the bases, right? That's the scary part about ZVZ. There's always that potential that suddenly all the production that is supposed to be going also into the drones just goes into lings or roaches or anything of the sorts, any type of attacking units. Alright, the next variation here, the actual variation that is happening. Lair attack coming up for Armani as we have the Roach Warden being prioritized here by Ragnarok. Ragnarok would like to get himself that lair as well, because that is gonna be allowing him, of course, to get the Roach speed upgrade. Roach speed, one of the most important upgrades. Same for the Zergling speed, actually. Unless if you're not going for Zerglings or Roaches, of course. But one of the most important upgrades overall. A couple of Zerglings here. We'll be able to find a Queen. Yeah, that's nice. That's okay. I think that is... yeah, okay. That does slow down the production here a little bit, right? Not another third Queen available. Just about. No road speed on the way just yet for Armani either, actually. I'm a bit surprised about that. Thought that was going to be the main priority here for him to get. But definitely not the case. Now, here is the attack. This is what happens when you're not paying attention to the front door of your opponent. Ragnarok here finding a fairly good position to get his units through. A couple of spine crawlers coming up. They are the last defense right now. The last attempt for Ragnarok, Armani to hold on here. A lot of banelings being produced and getting targeted down quite quickly. There we go. Only 3 of them managed to stay alive, but that's not enough. GG, just like that. Ragnarok kind of catching Armani off guard there. And to be fair, you don't really expect an attack like that. As the Zerglings already kind of came in and sniper queen, right? Being able to get yourself the resources afterwards. Well, I should put this way, right? You don't expect somebody to make an attack after investing attacking units for sniping a queen, right? Sniping the queen on its own already good because it lowers the production available for Armani. And that allows you to maybe eke out a bit of a higher advantage there. But you don't expect somebody to send in a massive amount of units if they already sent in some other attacking units and kind of sacrificed them there. So, yeah. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Game number 2, Light Shade, will be coming up. Someone else has the Trovo as muted, but on the laptop. I'm not sure what you mean, Natsu. Not entirely sure what you mean. I'm sorry. Here we go. Game number 2. In the top left side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. He is Armani. 1 game behind at this moment. Bottom right side, the red Zerg. Alpha X's, Ragnarok. The man that loves to be aggressive. Bum 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 ba ba da ba da bum bum bum. Okay. Spawning pool first for both these players. A bit earlier here for Armani. And Ragnarok going for the gas as well. Added in here a little bit later on. Interesting that it happens at the same time here for the players. Ragnarok, of course, going to have more drones available. So this is... overall, unless if he just keeps droning from this part, which I wouldn't assume that he will, right? Why else do you get yourself that spawning pool? It should give Ragnarok the advantage, because he just has more money, and he didn't get too many drones above. Though he did also spend money on that hatchery now, didn't he? Alright, well, let's see whether or not that was a bit too much then. How much droning is he still going to be doing here? That is the next question. He's going to make that queen... Don't want to see drones. Okay, there we go. There's the Zerglings now in production. Baneling Nest coming up for Armani. Yeah, I think overall, the Zerglings already being spotted here as well. So we should be seeing maybe perhaps even a Spine Crawler coming up here for Ragnarok. Not sure if he knows how dedicated this attack is, because it is truly quite dedicated. The timing of the Zerglings already giving it away somewhat, right? So, let's see. We'll pull some drones here, trying to save his hatchery. Does not want this to go down, but has to be careful, as there are banelings somewhere in production momentarily. As soon as that baneling nest is done, of course. There's a spine crawler now being constructed for Ragnarok. Yeah, that's going to have to be cancelled. There's no way you're keeping that alive. Very unfortunate. Running away with the drone further away, furthering the distance between the blue Zerglings and the red base. Zergling speed about to finish up. That's going to help out a ton as well. We'll be able to try and get surrounds going onto the enemy Zerglings. There we go. That's a beautiful surround, actually. All the Zerglings for Ragnarok getting caught out, and that is a problem. That could be quite the problem here. Another spine crawler coming up, trying to blockade the banelings from gaining access into the mineral line. But that is still a lot of banelings being able to get on top of a lot of drones. The spine crawler is gone. There's still one more baneling as well. That one doesn't quite manage to get the hit going. But that already was enough here for Armani to make that fully worth it. GG is called. Ragnarok taps out. Tying up the series here is Armani. Alright, so remember guys, after this one, we will still do Zest versus Rogue as well. A little bit of a cast from the Olima League. I know that doesn't always get all the attention it deserves. We like to do a couple more games from that here, because you know what? Can't get enough StarCraft 2 for a day, can we? No sir, no sir. Alright, Armani there. Getting aggressive, getting a victory. I thought Ragnarok was in a good position to make that work, but getting his Zerglings caught out and, you know, allowing those banelings to get in such a good position is quite rough. I understand that he didn't want to build the spine crawler much further forwards, but oh man, I just don't think the spine was in a good position there, you know what I mean? Because the moment it can start attacking the banelings already too close to the drone line for comfort. Very cool to see though from Armani, going from two angles, right? With those, like he had 4 banelings, 2 from the top, 2 from the bottom. Very cool to see. Being able to really enclose and collapse onto the drones and the other Zerglings that are available for Ragnarok. Very well played. Here we go, game number 3. Blazing through the series we are, and in the top left side we got a blue Zerg player. Somewhat semi-responsible for it as well, of course. Going for, again, the spawning pool first. The Freak of Freaks is Armani. And the bottom right side, the red Zerg, fighting for Alpha X. He is Ragnarok. So, spawning pool first there for Ragnarok as well, again. A little bit later though, once more. Let's see if he will be able to get the scout off this time a bit sooner. I guess it's because it was Lightshade and Submarine, right? 2 very, very small maps. Makes sense to expect the spawning pool first. There goes the hatchery. Armani also gonna go for the hatchery, actually. Not as dedicated this time around. He didn't get the gas, that's right, actually. Alright. So an entirely different situation here. But, considering that we just saw game number 2 end out with the banelings and such, maybe we're going to get an response, right? An overreaction here from Ragnarok. Would be quite something. Let's see. Hatchery, still in production, of course. Good amount of lings. Should be able to kind of stop that from being produced. That's already a spine crawler being built on the top side of the ramp here. Makes it a lot easier against sniping those banelings, of course. Trying to get himself into a good position, but those Zerglings there causing a bit of a stir. Already having the 2 nibbles on top of some of those Zerglings. Great way here from Armani. Some good micro. Actually cancelling the spine crawler. Going for it with the queen and the drones. He's like, alright, I should be able to hold my own here against these Zerglings. I should not lose the hatchery right now. Can't lose the queen either. Although this is a really good fight here for Ragnarok. Basically, in these types of situations, you want the queen to tank the damage as you use your Zerglings to try and take out his Zerglings as quickly as possible as well. Remember, speed on the way here for Ragnarok. No speed anywhere in sight for the blue Zerg Armani now, because he still doesn't have any gas. He's quite slow on the uptick here. Okay, the expansion did get spotted, which is probably the reason why Ragnarok decided to pull the drones this time around and cancel that spine crawler. A good response overall. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed. That is the spine crawler now on the way for Armani. Armani actually going to be the player having to up his defenses. Could even consider starting up a wall here, right? Make a baneling nest, make the Evo chambers, something like that. Although I'm not sure if he wants to, considering that he's, you know, not swimming in the work account right now. But it's an eventual thing, right? Okay, cancels the spine. Realizing there's not much yet on the way. It's a bit of a gamble still, of course. I guess he saw the third base drone moving about, so kind of on that note, we'll decide to not go for the defenses. Instead, just going for the wall here against any type of run-by. Stuff like this. First Baneling on the way. Banelings could still do quite well here, considering there's no speed upgrade for our blue Zerg. Getting rid of that creep tumor there. Ooh, the Zergling's just barely not being able to get in there. That's why he took care of that creep tumor. He wants to ensure that he has... Oh dear, that is still left open. That is still left open as well on the top side. Zerglings do get in. Not that many Zerglings behind this though, but still quite the nuisance, as there's no speed upgrade available for Armani here. These Zerglings will be just running about for quite a while. Third base for Armani getting cancelled. Anticipating a big influx in links here. It's probably the right call. Looking at the production tab right now, although, you know, he's also going for the lair. The lair and the Roach Warren. I'm so used to calling it a lair, guys. I'm sorry. I'll try my best. The lair. There we go. Spend a lot of time calling it a lair. Spire on the way for Armani. Alright, alright. Making it a bit more juicy here. Two-base Spire play. I mean, all Ragnarok really has to do right now is make sure that he has Spore Crawlers, right? If he has the Spore Crawlers, he should be able to keep himself safe in these situations here. He's making a lot of roaches. He may try to bust open the front door before we actually have a significant amount of Mutalisk, though. So a lot of roaches in production right now, actually. Also for, you know what, Armani also just making a lot of roaches here. Quite the interesting battle. Let's get rid of one of those creep tumors. Not sure if that was necessary, but, you know, that helps out. Armani Spire about to finish up, but he only has 300 gas stocked up right now. The Overseer is going to see the Spire, actually, also. There we go. Lovely done, lovely done. Finally, a third base here on the way for Armani. Zergling's already in position to check this area out, though. Another cancel being forced out. So Armani kind of struggling. This is the influx of the roaches now coming across, though. 5 Mutalisks, that's all we could manage for Armani here. As we have the Zerglings and the roaches pushing forwards, trying to get on top of the roaches here, but with good infrastructure, and the Mutalisk now shooting away from the top side as well. It's a good position here for Armani to be in. Even saves that drone right there. Well done indeed. A bit of a miscontrol, I suppose, from Ragnarok, though, to be fair as well. But still. Alright, Mutalisk realizing not gonna get much done, most likely, across the map, so we'll just try to deny vision here of Ragnarok, right? The map presence of those overlords, always quite crucial to have. And now it's gonna be up to Ragnarok to utilize the Zerglings.
So much for your creeps, friend.
Yeah, in order to stop the unknown army movements of Armani here. Zerglings once again trying to find a path of access onto that third base, but this time around it will stay upright. Armani has been behind on the economy now for a long time because of that third base here for Ragnarok already available. Getting these overlords is the one kind of like the pity prize in a way, right? Hydras on the field. With the Hydras on the field, maybe Ragnarok will make another move. Will make another attempt at the front door of his opponents here. In we go, quite a couple of those red roaches, ravagers, hydras. But, well, gets Ragnarok, not being spotted there by any overlords. It's a dead base indeed, quite quickly going down. Ragnarok realizing there must be something else elsewhere. It's completely correct. Everywhere in his own base now, roaches are taking part in the destruction and devastation of the Red Zerg village over here. Gotta watch out for those biles still, of course. Mutalisk, roaches, everything now going up into the main base. The main base, that's gonna be a very rough place for Ragnarok to take a fight. Those biles not quite managing to hit, but this is incredibly rough now for Ragnarok. He found himself in a very tightly squeezed pocket here. He does have those hydras with the extra range, which is helping out quite a bit, but the biles and the containment here for Armani definitely doing quite something. Oh, wow, this could actually be still a victory here for Armani because he was able to just run up the ramp here. Ragnarok realizing that's actually, yeah, he's still going to try to commit here. It's a brave choice indeed. That is so rough. Those biles continuously getting a lot of value. The drones from the main being utilized now, trying to get rid on the backside, maybe tank some damage for those units here for Ragnarok. More biles just being taken to the face right now. Trying to divvy up the army of Armani here. Getting rid of one at a time. That means he's going to lose his lair here in the main base. Most likely those drones as well. We'll start to maneuver elsewhere. Yeah, it looks like Armani just managed to do it, guys. I think he actually just, from a place that felt like it was unwinnable, moving himself into the main base here was the way to get this victory going. Ragnarok trying his best to get back on top of things here, though. Will lose his Hydra Den, but finally does secure his main base once more. No roaches or ravagers any longer in that location here. Hydra's there, not that tanky, so gotta be careful. Always gotta have those roaches in front. Okay, Ragnarok holds on for now. His army supply is kind of tied up, but of course he does have those Hydras, so it's a lot more damage coming in. He also has that upgrade advantage here with the +1 carapace. Getting another cancel on this base right here, that would be a good call. Could be a good start here. Another spine crawler. Yep, not even going to get a single poke into this equation. A lot of the roaches for Ragnarok already kind of low on the HP, though. Okay. Things are calming down a little bit here. It's still quite frightening. Lair still available for Armani. As opposed to Ragnarok, of course, kind of struggling now to really get his attack going again. He lost this base also, actually. Ugh. Very rough. Very, very rough here for Ragnarok. He's going to have to find a way around. Maybe it would have just been better to try and take the base trade, right? Maybe get himself into the main base of Armani here as well. Just let the main base go. Never mind pushing up here. Just get yourself up here as well. Do the same to him. And then stop him from ever retreating with his forces over here. Make another Hydra Den as quickly as possible. Something like this, right? But it just does not seem like, well, I guess the best thing overall for Ragnarok obviously would be just not allow Armani to gain the entry into the base. But with a couple of Mutalisks cleaning up all those overlords and then just utilizing the edges of the map there, Armani just absolutely blindsiding his opponents. Not a great start here for Ragnarok either. Taking a good bit of poke damage from those spine crawlers. The biles landing on top of his army as well. Oh, that is quite rough, yeah. Don't think this is going to break here for Armani. Ragnarok needs to back up. He's got a nice highway of creep, but that's allowing Armani now to stay hold on his tail as well. Those Hydras not as quick, not as nimble as the Roaches. Trying to save his Hydras. There we go. GG is called. Armani takes game number 3. That was a roller coaster of a ride. Jeez Louise. That was something else. Back and forth continuously between those two. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Armani just what a play. What a play going full the base trade. Committing to it. Straight up into the main base there. Wonderfully done. Cool stuff. Cool stuff happening there for Armani. And Ragnarok probably kicking himself for thinking he would be able to clean that up a little bit easier in the main base. Just taking such horrible engagements there. An absolute bloodbath there for the Red Zerg. For the Alpha Axa. Alright, here we go. Game number 4. Coming down the chimney tonight. At least still 2 more games here, of course. Armani needs to get those 2 victories if he wants to take the big prize, but we'll see. We'll see what Ragnarok has to say about that. Bottom right side, the blue Zerg player fighting for the Afrika Frigs. He is Armani. Top right side, the red Zerg, Alpha Axis, Ragnarok. I always like the lighting on this map. I don't know why, it just feels more realistic or something, you know? A bit more gritty. By the way, again, spawning pool first there for Armani. Looks like it will be the Zergling Baneling attack this time around. What do we have going for Ragnarok? It's a spawning... sorry. The spawning hatchery first. Spawning a hatchery first here on his natural. Could be a bit of trouble here. Still making more drones as well. Going up to 18 in total. I think before he starts the extractor. Yeah, there we go. And the spawning pool now as well. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough hold for him. He's going to have to pull some drones in order to, well, fight the first initial couple of Zerglings. And then afterwards, I don't know, guys. This usually doesn't end well for the player that is doing the hatchery first. It's a bit of this rock, paper, scissors scenario, you know? This is just really, really good against somebody that goes hatchery first. And he's even going to be able to keep the Zerglings hidden. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, well. From bad to worse for Ragnarok. Let's see how his crisis control is going to be. See Zerglings now, of course. Maybe too little, maybe too late. There they go, already on top of that hatchery. Trying to make queens and Zerglings now. But more and more Zerglings will be spilling in here. There's the Baneling Nest coming up for Armani. Baneling Nest for Ragnarok, not too far behind, but still quite a bit. Ooh, look at that cage he made for the Zerglings right there. Wonderfully done. Trying his best. Zergling speed about to finish up here for the blue Zerg. Again, just catching these Zerglings one by one. Absolutely crucial to keep this going. Spinecrawler, once again, a little bit further backwards. May want to try and reposition that a little bit further out. Maybe not there necessarily, but maybe over here in this choke point right there. In order to poke away at the Banelings before they get on top of dangerous locations. Hatchery will be taken care of. Let's see the Brutelings. Will the Brutelings get on top of a Baneling perhaps? That would be good. Ah, doesn't quite get it. Gets it low though, so easier time for the Spine and the Queen to poke that down. Banelings are available now for Ragnarok as well. That's a very big deal. It's got 4 right now in the main base. 3 more behind it in production. Buckets of 2. Buckets of 2 with these banelings. That's the key thing here. Coming forward with the queens and his banelings right now. Trying to safeguard these larvae. He still is trying to make use of. The banelings for Ragnarok need to be careful not to be too stocked on top of one another, of course. It's a scary thing. A lot of them now in the orange. A single baneling here connecting to 4 of them would be a very lovely trade here for Armani, of course. Okay, the banelings are starting to replenish some of that health. There we go. Let's stay alive for a little bit longer. Transfuse on the baneling right there. Not something you see every day where it's actually useful. Banelings of Armani now targeting the queens. That's not the way to do things. And yeah, it looks like Ragnarok is starting to hold this rather well, I'd say. 27 workers still available, of course. Needs to realize that more and more Zerglings are coming across. Does have this Overlord checking out the expansion coming down for Armani, but has to be oh so careful here, of course. Not to overcommit on his own drone production here. Oh, might lose a queen. Yep, that is a dead queen indeed. Spinecrawler coming forwards. Bit surprised with that time. Well, I guess it's fine, right? There we go. Got the creep now. Can start hunkering down. Should be the end of the early game aggression here. Very well done there by Ragnarok. Had quite a bit of extra money. Still trying to find the banelings here. No queen in the main base. About to be ready though. Just scouting as the main game right now here for Armani. Wants to figure out whether there's roaches, a lair tech, anything on the way. What's the drone count? Stuff like this can all give you insights as to what you're supposed to be doing at this moment in time. I like the Overlord position here for Armani. Not sure if he's going to be able to stick around like that for the longest time. Overlord for Ragnarok. Did that actually see the lair? It did. Okay, that's a good call. Now he's going to have to start preparing for a potential spy attack here. This has to take it into the equation. Needs to start his Hydra den as quick. Oh, actually, he's going to go for the Nidus network. That could work. That could work. Armani's army supply only at 8 right now because he has been so heavily droning, right? Had to try and catch up with that worker count. Spine crawlers, they won't help if the Nidus, of course, comes into the main base. Third base here for Ragnarok, going to be making its appearance as well. Not sure what he's planning to do. Okay, there we go. Nidus gets spotted. I think Armani had a good read on the situation though. 5 spine crawlers here should be a very, very good amount in order to shut this down. Will it be enough though? That is the question. They are all going to finish up except for one for the initial attack here. Banelings blowing up the wall. Gotta be careful. 2 banelings here for Ragnarok, almost being able to blow up right on top of all those other banelings. More and more banelings in production though. Armani, not entirely sure if that is the way you want to do it, but roaches and banelings, it's an interesting combination here. But together with those spine crawlers, just forcing Ragnarok continuously to move back and forth. Transfuse, absolutely being a lifesaver here for a lot of these roaches. Spore crawlers immediately starting in production right here, realizing there is the Mutalisk Flock right now available. Alright, this is starting to get a bit messy though. There's not enough firepower for Armani to hold back the flood. GG is called. Ragnarok takes it. ties it up once again. We're in a 2-2 situation. Alright. 2 versus 2. We'll see if we get ourselves into another ace match, right? So far, both best of 5s did go into the ace match. Right now, we're just one game removed, aren't we? No, wait, actually, yeah, game number 5. Yeah, okay, so both players still need to win one game, and then we'll be in the ace match. Alright, yeah. I figured it out. I know how to count. Crazy people doubting my counting ability. Who would do that? Who would do such a thing? Man. Alright. The Zerg players. I mean, it's quite an aggressive show so far. The players, they, that are being more aggressive feel like they usually are getting themselves a bit in an advantageous position. Except for that last game, I suppose. Although Ragnarok also being aggressive. I guess they're just both continuously being aggressive. That is just what it comes down to. Two to two. It's not a weird French saying that. That is the score right now. In the bottom left side, a blue Zerg player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. He's Armani. Top right side, the red Zerg fighting for ITaX. He is Ragnarok. Once again, going for that hatchery first. So is Armani here on the bigger map. Both of them gonna go for this. I was happily surprised to see Ragnarok do so well against that baneling pressure right there. Going for his own banelings that quickly really did turn it around. Finding a good opportunity there. Checking to see if there's any spine crawlers, of course, in the hidden bit of creep. You can't see all of your creep, so there's an opportunity for a player to hide a bit of spine crawlerage in those places. I like the split up here of the Zerglings as well, trying to avoid showing his hand in its entirety. Another Overlord here on the left side is not gonna see those Zerglings either. So, I mean, it's only 6 of them. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle here for Blue Zerg. He's keeping these hidden, actually. He's making a baneling nest behind. Okay. So, it could be the thing that he wants to make those into banelings later on. Alright. Baneling nest also on the way here for Armani, of course, but not on the backside, just at the front, so more so there as a defensive measure. It's funny that that's actually a thing, right? If you want to hide your baneling nest, usually it means you're being aggressive. If you don't hide the baneling nest, usually it means you're gonna get defensive, so a weird thing there. Armani, of course, there. Getting a beautiful scout off. We'll be able to get the signal. And needs to start making a lot of units here. Nice split up onto the banelings there. Not going to lose them too quickly. Oh, the Zerglings just barely managed to get past those banelings. Making a couple of baneling eggs there. That is very nice for Ragnarok, actually. Oh, Still taking quite a beating though from those banelings. 2 banelings here that are not going to see the light of day. Oh, just barely that one actually. Still getting a good amount of zerglings there. Very, very nice. Smart bit of micro though, to be fair. Making a couple of baneling eggs there, they become very tanky, and if Armani is just on attack move, those banelings, I do believe they will just run into those baneling eggs, so quite interesting to see something like that. Alright, 3rd bases for both of the players. Kind of similar timing overall. Roach Warren transition though, coming up for Ragnarok and Armani. Armani maintaining the Baneling composition here. Oh, okay. Yeah, does see it. The War of the Insects. Now also going for those, for the roaches here, of course. Let's see, vision-wise, definitely a bit of an advantage here for Ragnarok. Once again, the lair on the way. Alright. We're going to see more aggression here. I don't think so. I think this is just, again, you know, you have to keep tabs on your opponents here. You have to just kind of make sure that there's not a crazy amount of units being made. We'll try a bit of aggression, a bit of poking, but nothing too weird or out of the ordinary here. Right, we want to see what kind of army composition are you running with. Nidus network was also being constructed here. Where did that go? Cancelled. Alright, interesting. Opting against it here, apparently. Did we already have the Spire for Armani? Usually Armani the player that goes for the Spire. This time around, Ragnarok going for the Mutalisk. It's a good influx of drones there. 15 at a time. So yeah, the Mutalisk would be very nice for Armani, of course, to scout this. Did he scout the Nidus network? No, he didn't. I thought maybe that would have been like a ploy of his, right? Showing the Nidus network, seeing that it's being spotted, and then just kind of being like, alright, well, never mind, into the Spire we go. You have fun making a lot of ground defenses. I'm trying to make sure you have vision everywhere. I'll just be macroing, and I'll just be making Mutalisk. Alright, Armani already getting a Hydra Den as well, so that is going to help out, of course. You see, he is moving out, actually, also, with those roaches. They do have the roach speed, so not as scary anymore to move out and about. Although he is being spotted continuously, with those overlords just being absolutely everywhere. There's the Mutalisk. Ooh, this is nice. Okay, okay. So Armani kind of hiding his intentions there in a way, right? Going for a move out, which looks like just an attempted attack there. Sending a couple of roaches elsewhere when he's not being watched, and then moving back with those roaches. And there's no way that Ragnarok's going to be like, alright, well, actually there's 3 roaches missing. If he sees 3 roaches just randomly running over there, instantly you're going to know what's going on here. So this is a very nice little hit squad. Will one-shot drones. It's like a 2 adepts right here, kind of then in the shape and form of 3 roaches. Getting a reasonable amount of workers right now. Oh, missing one of the shots there. Getting more workers than the Mutalisk guy anyway, so quite the win in my book, you know. Ragnarok not really committing onto the Mutalisk though. Only sticking to the 6. Guess he lost one of them. Actually, he lost 4 of them. Fair enough. Getting the rocks down as well. Okay, big attack here on the bottom right side. This could be the moment here for Ragnarok. Could be where he makes his stride. A couple of biles there, but with the extra added in DPS of those Hydras on the backside. And the biles that are still being managed to land here for Armani. I don't know, I don't think Ragnarok has a lot to find here, but he does find the hatchery. Probably not a fight he would have won in the long run, but we'll be able to get that hatchery, so well done to him. He's still going to try to commit here. Not sure if that's the right call. This does seem to be something that Ragnarok just doesn't sometimes quite estimate correctly. And then just kind of starts being pummeled for it. At home as well, a couple of roaches here, really making life difficult. Ragnarok, would be nice if he manages to keep this hatchery alive, of course. I think he will, but oh so just barely. 1, 2, 3. That's the HP bar right there, available still for the hatchery. And now we see the Nidus play coming out of Armani, in fact, and where's this being set up? Near the natural base, okay. Mutalisk, finally an opportunity for them to try and do something here, but not finding anything. That's the rough parts. Not sure if they saw the overlords, but that is definitely something they can still try and get rid of. Oh, this could be a problem. This could be quite the problem. This is how he lost game number, was it game number 2? It was Submarine. This is going to be bad. This is going to be quite bad. Immediately running towards that ramp area over here with those roaches. Okay, the Ravagers for Ragnarok do manage to get on top. A couple of changelings there on hold position, trying to make it more difficult for Ragnarok to try and get up that ramp, but he will still be able to. Is it with enough, though? That's the question here. The Biles landing, the Mutalisk trying to come in as well, tanking some of that damage, but very quickly getting targeted down. A lot of roaches, 22 of them in production, but they are not here just quite yet. The Biles now on top of those eggs, stopping more reinforcements from gaining access into this battle. Okay, from multiple angles now, we do have roaches coming into the battle for Ragnarok, but I don't think it's enough with the extra added in DPS of Hydras. That is just a fight you usually don't quite manage to win here. And that is going to be another GG, I would assume. Yep, there it is. GG is called. Armani finding a great moment there. Great position as well. Lovely job with the changelings also trying to get that blockage happening, but oh well. Oh well, Armani takes game number 5. Once again, putting himself on a winning position. Could be that he takes it all in this next game, of course. So maybe Ragnarok will be able to tie it up once again. And with that tie-up, we'll have another ace match, of course. Sometimes the brightness just goes a little bit silly here, doesn't it? Come on, brightness. Adjust. And camera. Lights, camera, and adjust the brightness. I'm not doing it myself. Some people think I adjust it myself for some reason. Like I got a little knob here, turning it back and forth. Anyway. Probably shouldn't have said it that way. Regardless. Here we go, guys. Game number 6. The player on match points in the blue as the Zerg. Top left, Afrika Freaks. Armani. Bottom right side, the raggy Zerg player in the red color. Alpha axis, Ragnarok. What's up, Size Matters? Welcome back. You're here to see Kozen. Well, that is the right place then. This is where I partake in StarCraft 2 casting. Both these players, once again, hatchery first. Hatchery first. It almost sounds like didgeridoo to me. Didgeridoo, hatchery first, right? It sounds like a similar word that would be in the same language. Not entirely sure. Can't stream tonight. Got a lot of dropped frames. Ah, man, that's rough. That is rough. Probably a lot of people at home, eh? Trying to do the internet, as they say, as them young whippersnappers say these days. You're home alone. Probably your neighbors. Probably your neighbors. It's still like there's still only a certain amount of internet that goes around through a cable, right? Only so much information that they can upload through a cable, and if the cable then, you know, through the ground already is getting a lot more traffic from people in your area, that on its own can cause that also to slow down. I don't know, but you know, that's just one of the things, right? That could go wrong with this type of streaming things. Probably is, Gozen. That's right. Probably is. Never doubt me. Never doubt me. Don't ban me. That's okay. It'd have to get pretty ugly in here if you want to get banned. Or just shameless self-promotion, I suppose. We ban those people too. It's gotten a lot less though on Trovo overall. The shameless self-promotion. People just kind of jumping in here and being like, follow me please! Hey, everybody, follow me! True, true. Glad you're back. Bjorn made quite a mess of things. That's what you missed. He did 4 proxy 3 racks in a row. 4 of them. He lost the initial 3. Then he won the final one, and then he was like, alright, we're tied up. And we tried to do a very greedy macro game. He got Roach attacked, and that was it. That was it. Quite nasty occurrence. Good scouts here for Ragnarok. We'll be able to see the lair coming up. No lair just yet of being in production for himself, of course. Wait, how can he do 4 proxy 3 rack? I'm sorry, he did he do 4? Did he actually do 4? Let me think back on this, because if he loses the initial 3, then that would just be GG right then and there, right? That would be the end of the series. No, he actually did it 3 times in a row, I think. Yeah, 3 times. 3 times in a row. We were talking about there could be a 4th time in a row in that last game, but then it didn't happen, so... Oh. Lone baneling here, perhaps? Not gonna happen. Splooch. Both these players kind of trying to keep tabs on what the army size is of their opponent right now. How many drones you got, what attack you're going for, this type of stuff, right? Important to note. Gonna try again here. Wants to make sure he knows if there is a spire on the way. There is that spire. Then getting scouted there. Quite nice, quite nice. There's a Nidus network. Talking about nice Nidus network. Coming up as well. Good amount of roaches could provide quite a bit of damage there before the Mutalisk are arriving, of course. Overseer Cocoon. Is that gonna be okay? I don't think it will be. Of course, if they finish up immediately, they regain all their HP, but... Not today. Not today, sonny boy. And there's that Nidus. There's that Nidus. Oh, careful. Wants to get rid of some of these banelings if you can, of course, but gotta be careful. It's a scary thing. Roach speed, actually. Almost ready for Ragnarok here. Armani, of course, going for the Spire, so not really having any Roach speed. This means that Ragnarok will be able to chase down the Roaches of his opponent a lot easier in this situation. Ragnarok's like, you remember this strategy? You remember what you did to me, you filthy son of a gun? Here I am as well, back at it. Time to help you remember the power of the Nidus Worm and how things went your way very quickly here. The reinforcement point for this Nidus Worm is pretty nice, but there's still a good amount of roaches available here. A lot of the roaches for Ragnarok weren't quite shooting in that situation, but it looks like it will still be enough. He is gaining the upper hand here. But still needs more roaches, of course, to come out and help in this situation. With those 3 spine crawlers, actually, I think Armani is starting to hold here. Okay, moving up a little bit. It's going to force those spine crawlers to move away again. Trying to get back into the night. Wow, okay, that's something. Just getting rid of that hatchery and all back into the Nidus Worm. It's like, alright. See you later. I'll see you later. And that is, that's that. That's all that happened there. Spy attack now on the way for Ragnarok as well. Armani, of course, would love to be able to hide his spire for a little bit longer. Although it did get spotted. I'm not sure if Ragnarok knew that it was the spire. Now he absolutely knows. Kind of coming back around there with the Overseer and making sure that he knows. So how does he respond to this? Needs to get Spore Crawlers, of course. Obviously. Obvious solution. And, well, I guess his own Spire would be a good way to deal with this. I would have preferred to see the Hydras. But I guess it's harder to really protect everything at the same time. With Hydralisk, right? Bit harder to walk about, run around. Okay, Roger's on the bottom left here. This 4th base needs a bit of protecting. Enough roaches to help it out, but okay, we'll be in time also. Splooch, gesplooch, gesplooch. It's the sound of the Mutalisk. Getting shot by Spore Crawlers, of course. Oh, Roaches here, trying to just prevent getting shot by those Spine Crawlers. Finding themselves actually the Spire here, just going straight for it. It's coming straight for the jugular there. Alright. That's gone. No longer going to be present. Still a lot of Corruptors were able to be pressed on top of that production tab before it got shot down. But this is a nice moment here for Ragnarok to try and take the air dominance. Of course, has more money as well. Has that 4th base. Didn't lose a 3rd base, so Just got to be careful not to lose all his Mutalisk now against the Corruptors until his army is at a certain size where it will not get shot down by those Corruptors anymore. Running away from this area. Mutalisk have a shot at taking out this hatchery here. That would be a 5th base, of course, here coming up for Ragnarok. Not sure you want that to happen as Armani. It's already way too many Mutalisk here. I think we may be at a tipping point. GG is called. Ragnarok, beautifully played there. Ties it up once again, and we're once again going into game number 7. Well, the 8th match, once again, is what I should say. Well done indeed. Wow, okay. 5, best of 5 going to the 8th match. Already pretty good. Another best of 5 going to the 8th match. You know, you're a happy camper then. You're getting a lot of money for your, well, a lot of games for your money. Even though you guys are watching this for free, of course. Remember that Match Arena if you do want to help out a little bit, keeping things like this going. And yeah, then afterwards, best of 7, another ace match. Okay. I guess we'll just have to make do, don't we? After this, we'll do another best of 3 as well, guys. We'll do Rogue versus Zest. That's going to be from the Olimo League. After these live games, we'll do the Olimo League series right there. Just to kind of finish it off with, right? Does the Match Arena keep me casting as well? I mean, the Match Arena keeps players playing, and that means I have something to cast, I suppose, right? I don't really get money from the codes and stuff like this. I do get the money from the people donating in the caster tip jar. That's the one place. But other than that, I don't get much of a benefit there. Except for that, it keeps StarCraft going, right? Which is already pretty darn good for me. So here we go, guys. Game number 7. Game number 7. My oh my. These guys are giving it their all. In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. Armani. Top left side, the red Zerg fighting for Alpha X. He is Ragnarok. So far, more so in the spirit of tying it up. And then kind of losing charge again. Armani continuously taking the reins, taking the initiative. And putting himself 1 point ahead. Now this time around, of course, we're going to have to see that switch up a little bit if Ragnarok wants to win this. He is the Gucci. Ah. Was it just my friends, actually? Or was it a general consensus where instead of good, you would say Gucci? That's Gucci. Alright, Gucci. Just like a more fun way to say good. Just want one drone. There we go. And to the left and to the right. I guess we need to be a bit further away. Hello? Oh, there we go. So yeah, both these players going for the spawning pool after the hatchery this time around. The aggression definitely slowed down quite a bit. Spawning pool for Ragnarok, a bit closer to that ramp area. Probably a bit more anxious about the spawning pool first for Armani, which was happening a lot, right? So it does make sense to try and prepare for it. The good game is Gucci, that's right. Gucci gamers. Gucci Game Gaming. There we go. It's the actual... Good Gucci Guy Gamers. There we are. Just fit another G in there. Overlord. Seeing a third base here. Always important. Couple of Zerglings. Kind of just here for the scouting, of course. Doing what they can on that third. Just being annoying. They want to escape. I think they may... No, actually, just going to try to just trade against whatever they can. Well done there by Ragnarok. Nice bit of Zergling control. asserting his dominance in the early parts of this series. Or the game, I should say. I should have said. Evo Chambers and Baneling Nest here coming down for both these players. We have quite a few Zerglings now moving across though. Ragnarok does get a glimpse of this. Has a couple of Banelings on the way. Should be okay in this situation for the time being. As the Queen, one Queen is going to go down here. Only 3 Banelings. There's no Zerglings available actually for our red Zerg. But what? Just manually detonated that Baneling. It's a bit of a mistake, but yeah, you know, he stays afloat. He stays alive. Doesn't trade as well as he would have liked to, but still did okay for himself. Alright, guys, help me out here. Does this mean, actually, the 25 minerals lost? Is that a Baneling that Armani lost here? How many Banelings did... Oh, should we can't see, can we? I need to go into a replay at some point and figure out whether or not Banelings actually show up in the resources lost tab. I think they do! Look at that, they do! So if they detonate themselves, you still get the gas count ticking up. So that's good, that's good. It's just that you don't see that picture showing up. Another bit of a re-scout here. Did you see the spire? I don't think so. That was on the bottom side there. We can just take a quick gander. Yeah, that is still unaware of that situation. Ooh, good run into the Baneling there. The Baneling sniping happening here quite heavily. But be careful. Ooh, that Baneling. Yeah, that's gonna go down. Oh, manual detonation there, not working the way it's planned. Ooh, Zerglings. He's saving his own Banelings now as well. More Banelings here for Armani. Armani really going for it, actually. Oh, finds a way into the main. Could try to set up shop there. More Zerglings on the back foot of things. So we'll be able to get on top of the Queens here. Mutalisk are now out and about, though. Let's see how many Zerglings still go down before they... all the Zerglings get cleaned up. Careful. Careful, Ragnarok. Okay. Alright, 11. It's better than nothing. So I think what Armani wants to, or needs to do in this situation like this, just keep those Zerglings hidden, exactly like this. As soon as the Mutalisk is spotted elsewhere on the map, you go in. Preferably, you force the Mutalisk to move backwards. That would be the best thing right now. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to be able to get back in here. He's getting on top of that Spire right now, doing a bit of the same strat that Ragnarok did to him, onto him. He's got his own Mutalisk being produced. Only got 9 so far, but with that Spire being slain, then that is a good bit of an opportunity to set himself up for the majority leader of the Mutalisk count. It was quite the chaotic battle, but things still seemingly okay. 16 Mutalisk versus 13. Not sure if we have all the Mutalisk together, though, just quite yet. There's still some on the map. It's hard to say. Right, that amount, and then this amount. It's exactly the same Mutalisk number here. Alright, so... yeah, Armani just going to have to move over those queens, and we'll be able to take that fight. So Ragnarok wisely backs up. Needs that Spire back. It has become the Mutalisk War. The War of the Mittens. Circling run by. Not going to do much here. Already moving that Baneling forward. Like, alright, yeah, come on. Come on, then. Getting what they want, those overlords right now. So a lot of Mutalisk in production for our Red Zerg. The upgrades, though, quite heavily behind right now. It's the other part, of course, here. Oh, are we gonna have to fight? Not quite yet. And we'd love to see one of them throw down an infestation pit as well. Just get a couple of infestors, right? A single fungal here. Ooh. Oh, that could be so good. I suppose Viper also. Just get yourself the parasitic bomb on top of those Mutalisk. Could be quite something. Yeah, we have actually an infestation pit coming up. Could be for the ITaX as well, though, of course. Both players taking their 4th base around the same time. Neither of them gonna take the lead in that remark. Okay, Mutalisk quite nicely clumped up here for Armani. Gonna take more shots, of course, at the same time. It's a very strange battle, this, of course. Let's take a look at the numbers. Okay, very closely knit together. Upgrades are similar as well. Bit surprised we have the fight occurring here before the +2 carapace for the Flyers is finished up. And that may come to custom here. Armani. Ooh, it is a rough battle to call. It's going up equally, but now has that +2 Flyers upgrade. Moving back. Oh, the Spore Crawler did get picked off here. More Mutalisk coming into play. I think we do have the Red Zerg kind of taking the lead there in this battle. Having quite a couple of extra Mutalisk now available on this side of the map in particular, of course. Getting another Spore Crawler in that place as well. Good shouts. That moment when the Ling run-bys run into each other. Rich Vespian Geyser base starting to be taken here by Armani. Another potential way to really let this float into your own advantage. Alright, more Mutalisk versus Mutalisk. Nice clumping up together, I suppose. And that is going to go into Ragnarok's favor, I want to say. He's almost got the +1 air weapons. He's got a Queen helping out as well. Yeah, it is actually going into the favor for the Red Zerg. Is that already going to be enough here for Armani to tap out? I'm not sure. Actually, hold up. More blue Mutalisk suddenly appear. We'll be able to kind of tie it up again and evacuate the area. And it is not that often that you see Mutalisk versus Mutalisk not snowball quite heavily into one player's favor, because normally you kind of drop beyond that certain part where you actually one-shot Mutalisk and stuff like that, right? And then all of a sudden your DPS is just so much lower than your opponent's that it just doesn't work anymore for you. This time around, like, we've had 2 major Mutalisk committals, and neither of these players in a position to actually take it, right? Kind of trading equally. Very, very rare to see something like that. Look at that. There's only a single Mutalisk extra being lost here by Armani. It's quite the show here. Alright. Mutalisk versus Mutalisk. We have Vipers also coming in, trying to be a part of this battle here momentarily. They need a bit of energy, and then they should be able to just come in here, throw down the parasitic bombs onto the Mutalisk. Zerglings will finally be able to scout out what is going on with that Rich Vespian Geyser base. Luckily, there's no geysers there just quite yet, so still has some time to deal with the situation there. So a lot of Zerglings here. Zergling upgrades are kind of similar right now. They're actually exactly the same. Ground carapace also coming up for Armani though. Getting rid of the spool very quickly, efficiently. There is the parasitic bomb. Oh, that is the way to do it. A couple of those drones do fall though as well. Surprised Ragnarok not trying to get his own 5th base out just quite yet, so wonder if that is still going to be a thing here. Alright, scouting Zerglings get picked off for now. He knows the fight will be coming into this vicinity. But without his own Vipers, this is a very scary fight to take. Armani not allowed to really bulk up his Mutalisk anymore. Needs the magic box, and that means there's a lot more of a committal here if he does try to take the fight. A lot of those Mutalisk, of course, will be flying over and into the Mutalisk of Ragnarok, and that means that, well, you're just a lot quicker committed to that location. The base is still going strong, by the way. It's quite surprising. Here we go. Will be taken care of right now. Armani's still ahead with the 1 extra upgrades for the Sky Army, of course. And is starting to make his own Vipers now also. Ooh, a big run by. A lot of Zerglings absolutely everywhere. Finding their way into the natural and the main base. In fact, getting both of those queens. And a couple more of those drones as well. I think the queens there, nice pickup, of course. They will have to be remade in order to keep the injects going. Injections ever so important in these battles like these. There. Not allowed to fall too far behind, otherwise that is just going to be the end of your production. A lot of Zerglings here trying to get rid of the Spore Crawlers. Both these players now are kind of in a weird predicament where neither of them really comfortable with attacking their opponent. The Spore Crawlers just add so much value. I guess it comes down to who manages to get more expansions up and ready to mine. And who manages to get enough of those sniped off of their opponents. It's kind of what we're getting down to right here now, isn't it? Interesting. Ultralisk Kevin, love that idea. Good call there for Ragnarok. This base, yeah, looks like that will be targeted down here. Parasitic Bomb absolutely everywhere. It's hard to say who is taking the more damage here at this moment in time. It looks like the Mutalisk for Ragnarok definitely taking the harder brunt of the damage here. Was that enough now? The Mutalisk war heavily going into favor for Armani. Still has 17 remaining. It's going to be a rough one to try and get back on top of. Zerglings will be forcing a bit of a skirmish here on the other side of the map as well, though. Trying to get rid of that hatchery. They will be able to get it, I think. Right, that should go down. Yes, it will. Zerglings on the other base as well right now. And that one will not go down, though. This map is becoming quite the fest of the pummeling. Good thing that the Vipers of Ragnarok are still alive. May be able to mitigate the amount of damage these Mutalisk will be able to achieve right now. Ultralisk, it's a bit rough to go for the Ultralisk at this point in time. After having to replenish your own Mutalisk count that much. Here we go. Let's see. There's the parasitic bomb. Great spreading out already, though, coming from Mr. Armani. GG is called. Armani takes it there with the deciding Mutalisk battle going into his favor. Takes the series 4-3. Well played indeed.